All right, everyone, day 8, Namibia. And I got up early for the sunrise and did a time lapse. And then the clouds came in and just made this mystical feeling. And then we found out there were lions everywhere around our camp. In fact, when we got into our room at 10 o'clock, the lions were roaring all around our room. And here's all the footprints to prove it. We watched yesterday's video with Charles and he had loved it and we had such a great time. And then we got on the road and it was still that mystical little foggy. And before long, we found the lions and they were out in full form on the river looking for their prey. And this guy saw someone and he came running for it. But it got away, gave up and said, okay, another day, laid back down. I'll roll over, give myself a little massage and enjoy the morning. Yes, indeed, that's what the lions do. It's gotta be easy for them. Then Cindy sees this crazy tree and she said, look at that tree. I go, that is one of the coolest trees I've ever seen because Cindy is so observant. She observes all the important stuff like this rock formation. Cindy, what are you looking at here? Cindy? Yes, Cindy is quite the funny one, always pointing out the subtle and the obvious. She can spot anything from a lion climbing a hill to a giraffe running behind a tree. Cindy is always on the alert for everything that is Africa. This giraffe is running like crazy from the lions, and then we see hyena tracks, and that was really cool. We found some more lions and then more giraffes that were in the preview of the lions, and they were always watching those giraffes because they were everywhere. Oh, and listen to these guys, eating. Then the starter quit working on this range vehicle, so we bump started them and they got going. That was fun. And then more beautiful scenery, and we came across this elephant with these massive tusks. And then we started tracking the elephants and we found where they went up the sand dune, and I had to walk up there like an elephant swinging my trunk. I had such a great time. It was so beautiful. I sat up there on this edge and just took it all in. It was quiet and peaceful. Got some great photographs of Cindy and Gordon and Leanne. And of course I had to lay there and be silly in the sand and just soak it all in. And then these guys dancing around, eating and springing around. Then that giraffe running from the lions all the time. And this guy woke up from a nap, and this guy comes right in our path. And he says, get out of my way. And he raises his ears and his trunk and his tusks and comes running after us, and we beelined it out of there. And then we went back into the riverbed and looked how the water cut away this whole thing. This trunk is being rested on the tusk of that elephant because it's a little tired, a little heavy. And then we came across the baboons. Wow, this is all in a 4-hour morning. We saw so much. You know what time it is? It's 5:30 and it's time for our sundowner drive, and it was over the top again. The weather was nice and cool, not too hot. We came across this amazing scene of this baby giraffe, maybe only 3 months old, with its mother all by themselves. And they posed for some of the most spectacular photographs I've taken in Africa. And it was very, very special. Look at this, isn't it beautiful? And then we went to the riverbed and it was so beautiful. And then we went to the crunch. This is a dried riverbed, and we walked on all this, and the sound was over the top. So cool. And the giraffe came by. I love Africa. This is mud. Look at this. Perfectly smooth inside, nice texture on the outside, and delicious to eat.
So what we are seeing here now is known as silt. This is silt, right? Every sediment cools on its own rate. That's why it curls like this. Different sediments mix together, and when it dries up, every sediment cools on its own rate. Some cool faster, some cool slower. That's why it curls like this.
Guess what? Charles is as crazy as we are, and he proved it to us. He got right in there with us and did all the crazy stuff we were doing, including jumping in the sand dunes. Charles, are you supposed to be doing that? Aren't you supposed to be guiding and being absolutely prim and proper? Never when you're with Gordon and Cindy and Paul and Leanne, because we are insane and crazy. And we jumped the sand dunes and we had so much fun. And even Charles got into it. Look at him. A little silly, Charles. That's okay. It's all about having fun, baby. It's all about having fun. And we had so much fun acting like kids. And you know what? We're all over 60 years old, except for Charles, of course. And then we did a quick time lapse, and Charles took us up to Point Charles, which is the best viewpoint overlooking this beautiful valley and the river and everything. And wow, was it cool. Maybe a little sunshine would have been nice, but it's okay. It was so beautiful. And then Charles ended with the story.
When I started guiding, it was still in my early years. So I had these three amazing American ladies, which were bubbly. They were talking a lot. We had fun. Went out for sundown on the first day. And they were like, after dinner, they were like, Charles, how does the wake up work? And I'm like, no, don't worry. I will come and knock you up. You don't need to put your alarms. I'll come and knock you up. And excuse me, young man. I'm like, you don't need to worry. Don't put your alarms. I'll come and knock you up.
And then she said, you promise?
And one lady goes like, young man, by the time you come to my room, you'll be very tired. You know what, just come and knock us all out. Charlie, come, let's tell you something. This is what it means. And then they explained to me that if you say I'm going to knock someone up, it's like I'm going to make someone pregnant.
Right.
And I'm like, how can knock up? The funniest part of this story was they left and I still didn't believe it.
You thought they were making it up?
Yeah, it's like, why would knock up mean make someone pregnant? Just knocking someone up. And then after many years, it's so strange.
Yes.
I watch a movie called Knock Up. I've been knocking up my guests all the time.
There we go, another amazing and hysterical day in Namibia with our incredible guide, Charles.
I don't wanna break your little bubble, but you gotta wake up.